This summary of better small talk: talk to anyone, avoid awkwardness, generate deep conversations, and make real friends by Patrick King is about to begin. Enjoy! Key point 1. Why small talk is a big deal. What do you usually do while waiting for your order at your local coffee shop every morning? Are you down to exchanging some pleasantries with a barista? Or do you prefer to scroll through your phone or look out the window silently? If the latter option is you have just missed your chance to make yourself a little happier. Yes, small talk with the barista is all it takes, as proven by Sandstrom and Dunn's study in 2013. These days, small talk has a terrible reputation. Why do you have to talk to people you do not know about things that are so trivial? That is a good point, but it will never beat this. We are inherently social creatures, and interactions with others help us overcome depression and be healthier. Avoiding small talk is the equivalent of avoiding dating when you desperately want to get married. Small talk should not be your enemy, but an instrument that helps you stand out in a crowd and find your people. All you have to do is make your conversations more meaningful and honest. How exactly can you do it? Find out in this summary. Key point 2. Small talk prep. Socializing works best when you are in the right psychological state. If you have an invitation for a networking event, you can put yourself in the mood beforehand. At home, try a warming-up exercise. Read out loud. Take any book, a children's, nonfiction, or thriller, and pretend you are in front of an audience that will judge you. You must also consider these points. Emphasize any emotions you encounter in the book. If needed, scream, be mad, excessively enthusiastic, or sad. Pay attention to how you pronounce words. Make sure you do so clearly with no stuttering or mumbling. Check your breathing. Are you okay with the reading speed, or do you run out of breath? If you struggle with tempo, try putting your hand on your stomach. That's what singers do when they want to engage their diaphragms. Use the text to get out of your comfort zone. Read it with a silly voice or while being overly expressive. Communication is a skill, not a given. Hence, be intentional about sharpening it. All these techniques will guarantee a more confident and calm version of you with total control over your tone of voice and intonation. Now that you are warmed up, here is another strategy you can do right before meeting people. Create your conversation resume. It is an ace you can pull out of your sleeve if you get lost for words. For your conversation resume, gather this information. What are your most significant accomplishments? Do you have any quirks? Is there a funny or even creepy story that happened to you recently? What are the most exciting things you have watched or read recently? What are your thoughts on current monthly or weekly events? With this information, you can now escape any potentially awkward situations in a social setting. Remember to review and update your conversation resume now to stay relevant. Key point 3. No more stranger danger. Remember when you were in school and your class got the memo that you would have a substitute teacher the following day? Undoubtedly, you would feel a little bit uneasy. What kind of person would the substitute teacher be? Would they be strict and demanding? Or would they be chill and even crack some jokes with you? It was hard to guess until you met and talked to that person. As you enter social settings in adulthood, you realize that everyone around you is like a substitute teacher. You do not know anyone, so you try to catch up on the signals they send to their surroundings. Do they treat people with caution, or do they have a friendly aura around them? The only way to find this out is to start talking with them. When you treat people like strangers, they will remain. Patrick King. People are attracted to confidence, so if you make the first move, you have already scored 1 point. Here are some indirect methods of breaking the ice. 1. Ask them for subjective opinions or objective information. Examples include, "Excuse me, do you know when the speech begins? Do you like the atmosphere here?" These are general questions that seem not too assertive. 2. Comment on the environment or the specific situation that you observe. Just get closer to people and start talking as if you are speaking to yourself. "The music here is fantastic," or "that painting is awesome." It is a very subtle way of bonding with others without looking pushy. 3. Comment on similar things. You would feel more comfortable in conversations if there was a "me too" moment. It would bring a whole new level of openness and honesty. So ask a person questions that will spark your "me too" response, such as, "Why did you decide to come here? Did you, by any chance, go to that university? Do you know the speaker?" Make it your goal to interact for 10 seconds with a stranger daily. Even a smile counts. Key point 4. One action, one sentence, one emotion. What image comes to mind when you think of a genuinely charismatic and captivating person? What is the core of their charisma? You are not drawn to their looks or social status. You, instead, are interested in what they have to say and how they do it. Their power of storytelling mesmerizes you with even their most basic accounts of life. You do not have to participate in a revolution or go on a round-the-world trip to have material for your storytelling. Simply make it your habit to notice things around you. Mini stories are everywhere. You might have an interesting case in your job or witness a fascinating performance in a park. So the next time someone asks you, "How was your day?" you can elevate your answer from simple "It was good, thank you" to some mini story that happened in your surroundings. What you choose to share with others reveals a great deal about your mindset, thoughts, and values. Did you notice the emphasis on the mini stories? Exactly. Your stories should not take a lot of time and effort. They are just snippets that can move the conversation forward. If you struggle with shortening and highlighting your experiences, try the 1-1-1 method, which says your story should have 3 main elements. 1. There should be only one action. 2. You can sum it up in one sentence. 3. The story should evoke one emotion like anger, shock, fear, or happiness in your listeners. Here is the 1-1-1 method in action. Yesterday I got attacked by a dog, which caused me to have a panic attack. It is a short sentence, but it captures all the elements and prompts people to ask you more about how it happened and what was next. Do not get carried away, no matter how good you become at storytelling. Make efforts to involve others in your conversation and let them shine. It will help you foster a sense of belonging among people. Did you know, most of the stories in movies and books follow the hero cycle? The main character travels from point A to point B, undergoing different transformations and struggles to achieve their goal. It is a prevalent pattern in movies and books because people can relate to it. Key point 5. Making conversations count. Small talk should not be the end of your networking path. You can try to dig deeper and form more meaningful relationships. All you have to do is make others want to talk to you more. How can you become so captivating? Start with compliments, the oldest trick in the book. Compliments will always work because everyone loves getting attention. There are 2 prominent levels of compliments. The first level only scratches the surface, as these compliments are about appearance. Of course, you can compliment someone on their eye color, but it is something that they cannot control, so these remarks will not hit the right spot. On the contrary, the second level concerns things people can control or choose consciously. For example, they may wear a certain perfume or have particular habits or values that make them stand out to you. Point it out to them, making them feel exceptional. Try to make it a habit to notice, point out, and celebrate people's idiosyncrasies. Patrick King. Another simple way to demonstrate to people that they matter to you is to ask them questions, but not just simple and basic ones. Aim for questions that request more profound responses. Here are some tips for achieving this. 1. Ask open-ended questions. Yes or no questions might not get you far, so try paraphrasing them to spark discussions and bring out emotions and thought patterns. 2. Do not jump to conclusions. If the person you talk to has a different belief system, try to understand it and do not judge. Ask questions like, "What formed your mindset?" or "What is the story behind your ideas?" 3. Ask follow-up questions. It will prove to the other person that you are invested in their story. 4. Encourage them to generate their own insights. As you get comfortable with each other, ask them questions that will help them on their way to self-discovery. The key to building genuine connections is balance. Respect personal boundaries and not overstep anyone's limits. Key point 6. When words run dry. Sometimes the conversation gets stuck, your mind goes blank, and awkward silence looms. It is normal, and instead of trying to fill the silence with even more awkward remarks, make peace with it. See these moments as opportunities to generate the unique insights or turn the conversation differently. If silence still makes you nervous, try associations. What is a conversation after all, if not a free association exercise? Check out this practice at home. Name a random word, for example, cat. What words come up in your mind? Probably dogs, allergies, pets, and cuddles. Take the last word from the list and make another cycle of associations. Another tactic is to take 5 random words from the dictionary and make the whole story out of them. This way, you will train yourself to think quickly and develop creative solutions. Also, here are some acronyms to your rescue that will help you to keep the conversation going. Keep them in your head and choose the most suitable one. HPM, it stands for history, philosophy, and metaphor. History. Refer to your past experiences whenever someone asks you a question. Philosophy. Express your take on a situation. Metaphor. Mention something that reminds you of the conversation topic. SBR, it stands for specific, broad, and related. This technique helps you gather more information and shows others that you are genuinely interested in what they say. Specific. Ask targeted questions about the situation. Broad. Broaden the context by asking more general questions. Related. Ask about matters connected to the topic. EDR, it stands for emotion, detail, restatements. Emotion. Mention the emotional state the other person might have after they tell you their story. Detail, you ask for more specifics. Restatements, paraphrase their story to show your interest. Embrace the power of sharing your personal story. It inspires others to do the same. Conclusion. So far, your focus has been on other people and how to approach them. But to have a perfect combination of small talk, you still miss one more critical piece: building yourself. You become magnetic to people when you have a strong life position, exciting passions and hobbies, and vast experience. Nurture all these features, and communication partners will find you naturally. Try this. Search online for an improv class near you and join it. This type of class is a great way to beat anxiety and become more aware and spontaneous in your conversations. Try out interesting hobbies such as archery, astronomy, or origami, or pursue those you have always wanted to try in childhood. Grab a notebook and try to do the association exercise mentioned in the summary. Talk to strangers you meet in a cafe or on a train and exchange life stories with them. Summary complete. Please take a moment to rate it so we can help you grow in the best way possible.